Hello, my name is Janice. Welcome to a Minds in Motion 30-minute seated fitness class. So I'm going to invite you to take a comfortable seat, and we're going to start at the back of a chair, sitting up nice and tall. We're just going to start with a few shoulder shrugs. So you can invite your shoulders to come up to your ears with a big breath in, and on the exhale, letting them relax. Yeah, try a few more of those. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Let's try one more of those. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Good. Now we're going to take our shoulders into a little bit of shoulder rotation or movement backwards. So inviting the shoulders to come up towards your ears, a little towards the back of your chair, a little down towards your sit bones, and then maybe a little bit forward. If this is in any way uncomfortable, try a smaller range of motion. So try that one or two more times. We're starting with a gentle joint warm-up, so ankles, knees, wrists, and shoulders. Very good. One more little shoulder roll, up, back, and down. Bringing the elbows close, palms up, we'll invite the shoulders to slide down and under. And then from here, we're going to take a moment just to warm up our ankles. So choosing one foot, you might take your foot out a little bit in front of you and just see what's available. A little bit of circling, getting the fluids moving from the feet back up to the heart. Could try both directions with the foot. Very good. And now let's add the same side of the body. Let's try a hand. So if you start moving your wrist in a circle, and you've got your foot moving in a circle, now just see, this is just for fun, what happens when you change the direction of your hand. So if you turn your hand the other direction, sometimes the foot will automatically change. I've been working on this for a while now, but sometimes when people change their wrist or their hand position, the foot will just come along with them, which is just some of those mind-body patterns that we all have. So something to be curious about. And then when you're ready, we'll place our feet back on the ground or that foot down, sitting up tall. Let's try the other leg. So we've got your little circles happening, just awakening the ankle. Whatever available movement is there within comfort is all that's required today. So if we can't do a full range of motion in any movement that we do, see what's available that's manageable for you to do. I'm going to start with my hand now. So I've got my foot and my hand, wrist moving in the same direction. And then just for fun, I'm going to try to switch my hand direction without switching the foot. See what happens? I've been working on this for about a year, and now I can do it. It's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time. Yeah, it's two different things for the body to do. There we go. Very good. And then when you're ready, we'll place the leg back down. Yeah, as we sit back in the chair now, we're going to warm up the knee joint. So one great thing you can do in a chair to help strengthen the knee is knee or leg extensions. So choosing one leg and see if you can extend it out as fully as you can. As soon as our leg is fully extended, our quadricep muscle is working. And this is a muscle that helps stabilize your knee. And then back down. And then try the other leg just to see. Now again, if that full movement doesn't feel good for you, maybe you're only moving to here. So you are the boss here. You decide what range of motion works for you. Try it one more time, opposite leg. We'll just alternate. Very good. All right, very good. So that's our knee warm up. We're going to add that in with shoulder warm up. First thing we're going to do for our shoulder is shoulder flexion. So I'm going to start with my hands on my knees like I'm holding an imaginary box. And I'm just going to choose one arm, and I'm just going to see how far it goes over my head with comfort. It might go all the way to the ceiling, or your arm might have a limitation, and that's fine too. You might just get to here. I encourage you once again to move within a range of motion that is manageable for you in this moment. So you've got that nice movement of the shoulder. I'm trying to keep my shoulder relaxed so I'm not inching it up towards the ear. Very good. All right, now we're going to put two things together. We're going to put our leg extension and our shoulder flexion together, and we're going to try opposite arm to opposite leg. And this way, we're encouraging a little bit of right brain, left brain coordination, but it's just for fun. So if you end up on the same leg, same arm, it's all fine. You still get the benefit. So as I sit tall at the back of the chair, arms are on my knees like I'm holding an imaginary box. I'm going to extend one leg and the opposite arm if you can, taking a deep breath and back down. That's it. And then the other arm and the other leg. Yeah, very good. Very good. 2 more times on either side. Very good. Big breath. Good. 1 more time each side. Inhaling. That's it. That's the last one. Very good. All right, now our last little way we're going to work our shoulder is called abduction. It's when the arms come out to the side. So we're going to try some bird wings, like you have eagle wings here. And to invite a little stretch into the wrists, we're going to think of on the way up, as the arms come out to the side, the fingers are going to point to the ground. And then as the arms float down, I'm going to invite my fingers to point to the ceiling. So I have these eagle wings. Your range of motion is up to you. So for some people, the arms might go really high. For some people, you might have baby bird wings, and that's fine as well. So let's try. We have our bird wings happening here. And I'm going to take a deep breath and extend one leg and back down, sitting up nice and tall in your seat. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to do 2 more on either side. Arms extending out to the sides. Yeah. And 1 more on either side if you can. Last time. Yeah, very good. Wonderful. And just take a little shoulder roll. Anytime you want a little break, that little baby shoulder roll up, back, and down, or a little shrug, it can often help release any held tension from the upper shoulders. So from this point, we've been sitting far back in the chair so we can do some leg extensions. If it's comfortable for you in the seat you're in, we're going to warm up our hip joint by scooching forward in the chair. So just go at your own pace. If your preference is to stay at the back of the chair, you can do so. Might limit some of your movements, but again, you're the boss here. So I'm going to see if I can scooch one hip and then the other, just scooching a little bit to the edge of my chair. I still feel nice and stable. My sit bones are nicely rooted on the chair. I've got my feet at hip width apart. And ideally, I want to have my ankle kind of under the knee so I have a nice 90-degree angle. It's going to give me a little bit of stability here in this position. Very good. All right, so as we sit up tall at the edge of the chair here, sitting a bit forward, so there's a little bit of space between the back of the chair and your back, we're already using lots of our core muscles to sit up tall. Yeah, and so as we sit up tall, you might slide your hands towards your hips. Think about having a book on your head. Yeah, and then we're going to try sitting small, which we're all pretty good at. This is sort of when the spine gets tired and the chin comes forward and we end up slouching a little bit. So just these little baby movements for the spine now. So we're going to think of sitting up tall. You've got a book on the head. That's it. And sitting small, maybe the chin coming into the chest a little bit, maybe the hands sliding over the knees a little bit. So just notice what this feels like. Sitting up tall. You might even sense a little bit of movement in the pelvis tilting forward when you sit tall. And as you sit small and the chin comes to the chest, you might even feel like your pelvis tucks under a little bit. And just one last time, sitting up nice and tall. That's it. And sitting small. Very good. So I'm going to encourage you most of today, most of our practice, to see if you can stay sitting up nice and tall. But when you feel like I'm tired, which might happen, because this is already using all of your big spinal muscles here to help support you in this spinal extension. If you're feeling tired in the back, then we can try a rocking chair movement, which is a nice little stretch for your back. So I'm going to place my hands in the mid part of my thigh bones, biggest bone in your body, and it's strong. So you can press into that thigh bone. Avoid your knee joint though. So I've got my hands in the thighs. I'm sitting up nice and tall. I want you to think that you are the rocking chair. So I'm going to take a breath in. On the exhale, I'm going to hinge at the hip crease to come a little bit forward. And if it's comfortable here, I can press into the thighs a bit. You might lift the heels a little bit as if your feet were the rockers on the rocking chair. And this might provide a little stretch in your lower back. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale and come up. Once the heels come down, I'm going to exhale. I'm going to lean back a little bit and let my toes lift. I'm going to encourage you to look straight ahead rather than looking up at the ceiling. So I'm going to inhale to come up. Exhale, I'm hinging at the hip crease, maybe the heels lifting. Inhaling to come up to center. And I'm going to exhale, lean back a little bit. This is our little bit of a seated sit-up. So when we come forward, we give our little back, our lower back a bit of a stretch. Then we're coming up to our neutral spine. And then leaning back, I got my toes lifted. There it is. Very good. Good. I'm going to do one more forward fold. This position in particular is really nice if you're getting tired or your back is feeling like it needs a little stretch. And in your time, I'm going to invite you to come up to seated. And we're going to start with a gentle, functional way to warm up your spine in all the ways that it moves. So we're going to start with our hands out at the sides. All right. So just choosing one hand, I'm going to slowly first just extend it out in front and then back to my shoulder. And then the opposite hand, out in front and then back to my shoulder. Good. Then I'm going to take the other hand now and I'm going to push across towards the opposite side. There's a little bit of a twist. Then I'm going to take the other hand, pushing across. That's it. Third movement is up across, reaching up across like you're reaching in a cupboard, and up across like you're reaching in the other cupboard. Last movement is down across like you're reaching to pick something up off the ground, and down across. Very good. So let's try that one more time. So first we're pressing forward with the arm, back to the shoulder, pressing forward. Now we're pressing across toward the opposite side of the body and pushing across. Now we're going up across, little side bend. That's it. Up across, there's the side bend. And down across, a little bit of flexion, and down across. Very good. All right, very good. Now we're going to see if we can add in our feet. And so the footwork, you might just do a little heel tap. Might just be a heel tap, heel tap, heel tap, heel tap. So that's our foot movement. Now, just for fun, I always say this because it's challenging to do opposite side of the body, hands and legs, but it does challenge our neuroplasticity, so a little bit of right brain, left brain having to work together. And it might take more than one practice before it kind of settles in and becomes more comfortable. But just for fun, we're going to try that arm movement with opposite foot. And it's very common that the same foot and the same arm are going to want to move together. So on the beginning, I'm going to sit up tall, and I'm going to take one hand out and the opposite foot out. And then as they come in, other side. Good. Now pushing across and across. And up across, reaching up across, reaching down across, and down across. Good. Let's try it again. Forward, forward, pushing across, and across. Up across, down across, down across. Last time. Forward, forward, cross, pushing across, reaching up across, down across, down across. Hey, very good, very good. Now keep in mind, muscle memory is a real thing. It usually takes 3 separate occasions before muscle memory really sets in the muscles. This is how sort of they always say, you know, once you ride a bike, the body remembers. And so if you find that you're on the wrong side at the wrong time, it's not wrong. As long as you're moving and trying, you're getting the benefit for the brain and the muscles and the bones and the joints. All right, so we're going to move into our rowing. So we're going to get a little bit more into some sort of endurance-based practices. And for this one, that same hinging motion that we did in the rocking chair, you might bring that into this movement. And so we're going to row. Maybe we're rowing down a nice river in the summer here. So you've got your arms out in front of you, like you've got your oars here. I'm going to hinge a little bit at the hip crease, reaching forward. You might even lift your heels. I'm going to take a big breath in. On the exhale, I'm going to pull the arms out to the sides, and there I go, back. Good. So we're going to row. So you go at your own pace, reaching and pulling. Very good. We're aiming for about 45 seconds. Feel free to take a break anytime. Reaching and pulling. That's it. Reaching and pulling. That's it. Very good. Taking some nice deep breaths. Those elbows bending out to the sides. Very good. That's it. 10 more seconds. Reaching and pulling. Good. Reaching and pulling. Last one. Reaching and pulling. Whoo. Woo, and you made it. Very good. Take a little break, little shoulder roll, and let's try a little shoulder shrug. That's it. Let's try one more of those. All right, so now we're going to move our hip a little bit more. And for this, we're going to do a big step with one leg at a time. So I'm going to choose one leg. You choose which leg you'd like to start on. And I'm going to take a big step out to the side. And then I'm going to try to take the other leg out to the side. Very good. And then try to bring them back in again. Okay, very good. If you want to add the arms, let's practice arm and leg moving together. See? So we're going wide, wide, close, close. Good. Wide, wide, close, close. I'm going to do two more. Wide, wide, close, close. Last time. Wide, wide, close, close. Very good. Now we're going to go into that wide position and stay there. So I'm going to have a wide, wide, and then just to make some adjustments for yourself here. So for some people, it could be quite a bit wider. For others, it might be less wide, just slightly wider than your normal sort of hip width apart is all that's required. And you might have to sit the bum back a little bit if you feel like you're too close to the edge. Then I'm going to try to have my heel under my knee so that I can press into the feet and still sit up nice and tall here. Very good. So we're going to do a little gentle warm up in this position, and then we're going to go into some bigger movements. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring my hands up, and I'm going to gently turn a little bit to face one leg. So not far, just however far my body will go comfortably. And I bet you everybody's done this one before. I've called this one pull up your socks. It's a nice stretch for our big QL muscles. So I'm going to slide the hands gently down the leg. I'm not going any further than it's comfortable, keeping my head in line with my heart and my shoulders. I'm going to do it 2 more times as that gentle stretch on the opposite side of my back. That's it. It's like you're pulling up your socks. That's it. 1 more time perhaps. Very good. Only going as far as you feel comfortable. And then as you come back to center, sitting up nice and tall, hands come up. Just see how you can turn the body gently without force. Doesn't have to be a lot. Hands on the thigh. And sliding down the leg gently. And back up. So we can see that it's a small amount of movement, and I'm trying to keep the head in line with my shoulders here, so I'm not letting the head drop up and down. That'll help so that we don't make ourselves dizzy here. Very good. All right, good. Once you've done 3 of those, let's come back to your first position. Very good. All right, so we're going to do a little spinal exercise or a posture exercise. And so if you're comfortable with this, sometimes I turn my hands. So instead of having just my fingers pointing to my knees, I'm going to turn my fingers so they're pointing a little bit to the floor. Kind of feels like a football huddle. I've never played football. But from this position here, if I bend the elbows, I can kind of let my chin come forward, and I'm going to press into my thighs, coming up, and I'm going to open my arms out to the sides, thumbs pointing to the wall behind me. So we're going to try that one 5 times. So this is sort of a really great way to strengthen our spinal muscles. So the hands come back to the thighs, elbows bend, a little huddle here, pressing into the thighs. Let's go 5, 4, sitting up tall. That's it. 3, 2, that's it. 1 more. And 1. Very good. Good job. All right, so we're going to stay here. We're going to bring our arms up to the sides now, and we're going into a larger upper back movement. So with my arms out at the side, sometimes I bend the elbows a little just to relax the shoulders. So we want to keep one arm where it is, and one arm is going to come around to clap. And you can follow that arm with your eyes. So I'm going to bring the arm around, and I'm going to follow it. Clap, open, clap, open. Good. Clap, open, clap, open. 3. Good. 2. 1 more on either side. Good. Last one. Whew. Very good. Nice. Take a break. Arms come down. A little shoulder roll. All right, so from here, we're going into a few weight shifting movements. These are great for your balance, even in a chair. So when we're sitting, we can work with our awareness of our body weight in our sit bones. And if we were standing, we would be working with our body weight in our feet. So just see if you're sitting in your chair at center, how does that feel? Okay, and how does it feel to shift your weight a little over to one sit bone, back to both, and a little over to the other sit bone? Very good. Very common in our functional movements. This happens and we don't even notice. So we're going to take a moment to come into this position and then see what happens. So I'm going to bring one arm up and get it ready. The other hand, I'm going to bring it up to my shoulder and I'm going to try to do a little flicking. It's a great one for the fingers and the hands. Flicking, flicking. Okay, so I'm going to take my flicking fingers to my shoulder. Now look at that arm that's extended. It's like I'm going to throw in a diagonal to that opposite arm and then flick. And then it's like pulling back the bow and arrow. So now my body weight is shifted and flicking. So I'm pulling back and I'm throwing. Pulling back and throwing. Just reminds me of a bow and arrow. I'm going to do two more. Throwing. Last one. And throwing. Very good. And then take a moment, little shoulder roll. We'll do the other side. So when you're ready, let's get our arm ready. One arm is extended. The other hand that you weren't flicking with, try that hand. So you just bring your fingers together and then flick, flick. Let's imagine I've got a handful of glitter. All right? All right, so I'm going to take it up to my shoulder. Getting ready, looking at that long straight arm. I'm going to throw my glitter ball up in a diagonal and flick. Pull it back and flick. I want you to notice if you can sense your body weight shifting from one sit bone to the other. And flick, that's it. Flick. Yeah, I'm going to do one more on this side and flick. Very good. And as you take your hands down, little shoulder roll. Very good. Let's do one little shoulder shrug. Very good. All right. So from this position here, we're going to bring our feet back. So I'm going to invite you to take one big step and another big step. Very good. Once you're back at your seat here, sitting up nice and tall, we'll take a moment to release your back and a little moment to release your shoulder as well. So with my hands on my thighs, I'm just going to gently lean forward. And I'm going to leave one hand on my thigh and let one arm hang down. Just going to let it hang and swing. Just watch out for the leg of your chair. So this is great if you have tension in the shoulder. You can always even just let it hang and move even smaller or little circles. Try the other arm. Let it hang loose and relax. Your arm was just designed to hang loose off your shoulder just like this. That's it. And then in your time, when you're ready, we're going to place that hand back on your thigh, pressing into the thighs as we slowly come up. Little shoulder roll up, back, and down. Elbows close, palms up. All right, so we're going to go into our second endurance move, and we're aiming. We're going to turn the palms down. We're going to aim for about 45 seconds, and we're going to march. So I'm going to bring my opposite hand to my opposite leg, yeah, just like so. Very good. Keep breathing. That's it. Now, you might be really ambitious today. You might get your arms moving large, okay? Or you might have them here. Very good. That's it. That's it. Big march, maybe big arms. That's it. Opposite hand to opposite leg. Means your right brain and the left brain have to coordinate with each other. So this is an example of a sort of neural fitness exercise. Very good. That's it. Very good. All right, we got 15 seconds to go. Taking some deep breaths, knowing that you can take a break anytime, or just drop the arms and keep marching if you're getting really tired. That's it. Very good. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Very good. Take a little break. A little shoulder roll. And let's do a little shoulder shrug. Very good. Let's try one more of those. Good. All right, so let's take a moment with our hands, and we're going to take a moment. Now, what you can do, even if we don't have weights, is imaginary weightlifting, where we put our awareness and our intention, we activate muscle. So I like to pretend I have soup cans in my hands. This will activate the muscles a little bit. So I'm just holding some soup cans. Very good. And now I'm going to see if I can turn my palms out to the sides and bring my arms out to the sides. Now, if the arm doesn't go comfortably this far, maybe it's a little lower, that's fine. I'm going to go to shoulder height and see how that feels. Because now I'm using muscle just to hold my arms here. And then I'm going to bicep curl, just like this. Very good. That's it. And I'm going to add a heel tap, just like we did at the beginning. So I'm going to go heel tap, heel tap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, very good. I'm going to bring my hands and just see if they will touch my shoulders. They might not quite touch, that's fine too. And see where the elbows go. And now I'm going to invite my elbows to come forward, chin to chest, little stretch for your back. And now as I look forward, I'm going to see if I can pull those elbows towards the back of my chair. So I'm activating some big back muscles for posture. So elbows towards each other, chin gently coming towards the chest, a little stretch in the back. Looking forward, elbows moving towards the chair behind you. Whatever is available. So it could be a smaller movement. That's it. One last time. Very good. Wonderful. Now as my elbows are out to the sides here, I'm going to take my hands up, and I call this the cactus position. Very good. So you can spread out your fingers, big wide open hands. Very good. And now just see, we're going to bring our elbows front a little bit and out to the side. Yeah? We're going to try that 3 more times. That's it. So it's elbows in front, elbows out to the sides. Very good. Elbows in front and elbows out to the side. Let's do one more. Elbows in front, elbows out to the side. All right, now we're going to do a lat pull. So I want you to imagine you get your soup cans. You have your soup cans in your hands. See if you can push those soup cans overhead. And now we're going to pull down, maybe even the elbows bending towards the sides of the chest here, or the sides of the ribs. So we're going to push up, pulling down. See what's available. Reaching, pulling. That's it. I'm going to do 2 more of those. Big lats. They're your big back muscles. They're really important for our posture. Reaching and pulling. That's it. I'm going to do 1 more. Reaching and pulling. Very good. And just shake out the hands. A little shoulder roll here. Good. Maybe a little shoulder shrug. Let's try 1 or 2 more of those shoulder shrugs. Good. All right. 1 more. All right. With your hands at your sides, we're going to just take a moment. Now, this is just a helpful little tip, even when we're sitting in a chair. If we find that we're slouching, it's quite amazing. If I just roll my thumbs towards the wall behind me, I feel my shoulder roll out to the side and my chest lift. So it's a really simple way to kind of explore the shoulder. Now just notice if you roll your hand around, your shoulder rolls in. To stretch your back, you could bring your chin to your chest. And then as you look forward, think of the arms or the hands rolling towards the wall behind you. There's your chest opening. Very good. And try it 1 more time. Hand rolls in, chin towards the chest. And last time, hands rolling out, chest is open, fingers are open. Very good. Nice. So then we're going to bring the arms up. And I'm going to invite you to give yourself a bear hug. So 1 arm comes on top. We're stretching all the muscles in your back that we've used today. So as you get your bear hug here, to go further, we're going to hinge forward like the rocking chair. So I'm going to take a big breath. On the exhale, I'm going to hinge forward a little bit. Maybe the chin coming into the chest, and you might even lift your heels a little bit. Just taking a moment to thank yourself for making the effort to practice today, to move your body. And then slowly come up. That's it. Whichever arm is on top, we're going to switch. So I'm going to take a big breath in, opening the chest. And on the exhale, I'm going to bring the other arm around for the big bear hug. Very good. Big breath in. Exhale, hinging forward. Maybe the heels lifting, maybe the chin coming into the chest. That's it. And then slowly coming up and you're ready. Very good. And then the arms can come back down, a little shoulder roll. That's it, and a little shoulder shrug. Very good. Maybe one more of those. Very good. So that was a 30-minute seated fitness class. So we worked all of the major joints today, the spine. We did a little bit of mental weightlifting today. And each class will sort of build. So we'll review a few things and then we'll add a few things in. And so I really thank you for your practice today. And I hope to see you again in the next video. Thank you for coming. My name is Janice.